Righto, product test day today. Philip's unloaded with 2 new balls from Titleist. Now, hasn't told me a thing about the tech. No doubt he'll get in my ear later about that, that's for sure. So for me, I'm going back to the old school method, which is just really about 5 or 6 different range shots. Short putt, long putt, pitch or approach shot, iron and driver. So let's get started. Short putt, do I like the feel of it? Now I'm going to start with the AVX. It's on the side of the ball, so that's what I'm calling it. I look from here for just the feel off my putter face. Now I've got the other one, which I'm going to call the T, quite simply because it's got a monster T on the side of it. And already I'd say that the T's gets my vote there. I've only hit 2 putts. That's kind of how quick you actually judge this stuff. You've got to immediately kind of notice differences for you to, I guess, pick a ball, because they're all very good. All right, but the T already, that's the T again. Now the AVX. Yeah, it's louder, feels like it jumps off my putter face a bit quicker. I'm only hitting 2, I'm going to move right on. Got my little notebook here. I'm giving a tick to T-ball for short putts. Let's go now hit long putts. So the second test I'll always do is from long range putting, and you'll feel compression a hell of a lot easier from this area. So yet again for me, feel is everything, or paramount in putting. Now the T-ball, which I've had a closer look at, says actually too is soft. It's probably what the T stands for. But no doubt it's used for an alignment aid. And if you use alignment with a point, this is probably you're gonna love this. So I'm gonna chuck this down, put it on the ground. But yet again for me, it's not about alignment, it's all about feel. Okay, so T-ball, give that a hit. Immediately that feels soft off the weapon to me, quite noticeably really. And interestingly enough, I guess the AVX still was harder than the T-ball straight away, but to me it felt not as noticeable over the longer putt than the shorter putt, which is interesting. Probably compressed it a bit more, but I'd still purely give the T-ball a tick here. Okay, so out comes the green book. T-ball tick number 2, and now we move on. Pitching, I guess, is the next area, or distance control. So now I'm into, I guess, field territory for my approach shot. So I'm in and around about 90 or 80 yards. Really important yardage for me to not only get height and flight, but spin, okay? So this is the spin element test, I guess, of the ball. So I've got the Tour Soft here first up, and give it a crack. Oh, I nipped that. That's some nice spin back there. Okay, so now we've got the AVX. I'm going to try it at the same type of shot. Hopefully I hit it as well. Oh, I've nipped that too. This one's not as bad as in terms of having blocked that. Oh, got spin off that too. Actually, I got a lot of spin off that. I've got to get up there and see how much each of those has spun, but I think the AVX has spun more. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, but both felt good. Well, I decided to hit another small approach shot as I walked up here. First one was about 90 yards, and the second one was about 30 yards, because after the 90 yarder I could see the amount of spin the AVX got, and I just wanted to see what the approach shot felt like from a shorter range in terms of that spin and control. And I've got to be honest, there is a discernible difference now in the 2 balls coming into the green. I haven't really noticed much of a difference anywhere else, but from, I guess, approach point of view, the AVX is clearly a winner here, so it's definitely getting my tick from the approach category. Let's see where the mid-iron goes. Well, a vital part of the ball test for me is also height and flight control with my irons. So I've got the mid-iron test, and all I'm going to do here is hit a couple of shots into the green, not overly high, but just a sort of a mid-range flight, and just see which one I feel like I can control the distance on better. So we'll start with the Tour Soft T-ball and see how we go. Put this ball a tiny bit back in the stance, but just normal flighted. It's hit decently. It kept down pretty nicely. Oh, I've seen it land on the green. It stopped nice, but you'd expect that as well from a flighted shot. It's a little bit into the breeze, so that reacted what I would call brilliantly, to be honest. So now I'll go the AVX, same shot. Struck that, pulled it a bit, but struck it. Okay, the final piece of the puzzle is how long do these things go, and I'm just going to blow the doors off these, and if it goes in the trees I couldn't care less. Whichever goes the furthest is getting my tick. So we'll start with the Tour Soft T-ball and give it a rip. Now, feel for me on driver is null and void. Couldn't care if it feels like a rock. I got that, so that's every chance to go long. All right, go for the AVX. Here we go. Now that one, teeny bit righter than the first one, but both hit well, so this will be a fair indication. So the good news is I've found both my balls, as predicted. One's in the rough, one's in the fairway. This has to be the AVX. Yep. So I tell you what, there's not a lot in it. Just the crow flies. Oh, I reckon the Tour Soft or T-ball has got it by a metre or two. There's not a lot in it. So I've got to be honest, when I'm going for a ball off a tee, all I care about is length. I really couldn't care less about anything else. So the fact that they're almost identical, I might have to break the mould here and go for half ticks, because there really isn't a discernible difference. They're both magnificently long. Well, I hit them magnificently long. No, not really. I hit them both decently, but there isn't a standout. So half ticks, and now the wrap up. Can't wait for Philip's spiel on which one was which.
Deezer, how'd you go?
Philip, good to see you. Mate, I had some fun out there, to be honest.
Some change?
It was a change. Usually I'm playing bad. Well, anyway, two balls. AVX and obviously the, well, I call it T-ball, but Tour Soft. I did a rating system, Philip, on my old school way. 5 shots, short putt, long putt, approach, mid-iron and driver. And then just gave them ticks. That's all I did. And they were much of a muchness. I kind of like the feel of this one actually putting, believe it or not, felt soft. But the only discernible difference between the two overall really was approach shots, and that one, the AVX, was noticeably more spinny, and the feel felt totally different. It was a real, I guess, gapper between the other 4 tests I did.
The scoring shots. So the AVX, think about lower spin, softer feel, lower trajectory, an alternative to VNX. Pro V1X, Pro V1, AVX, alternative to VNX. That's the spiel. But urethane cover, this is the key thing, is that inner cover and the urethane cover, the short game, that's where they stand out, the scoring shots.
Why did that feel so good putting?
So because it's got a really large, really soft core, the Tour Soft, funnily enough, really large, and a soft cover, you're not really hitting it hard enough to be able to notice too much about it. So put a soft cover with a soft core. But when it comes to scoring and when it comes to the shots that matter,
well, I'm going to be putting that little sucker in my bag. That was flush controlling in, and that though, mind you, was a really good ball as well.
And I'll tell you what, from now on, I'm going to tell you nothing about what you're testing, because I reckon we get better results.
Well, I'm off. And your next test, just do the same thing, Philip. You read up on all the data and I'll just hit them.
It'll be my pleasure.
Adios.